One of them.
I can't even watch that scene to this day.
I haven't watched it again. I watched Berserk at least one more time.
Yeah, I skip it.
I do too.
I can't watch it. All right.
You hear something too?
Bobby. All right, Israel. Shalom, Israel. Yahweh Bashim Yahshua Barak Thumb. Yahweh Shamar Al Thumb Bashim Yahshua. I am Priest Officer 5000. Yediah. This is the Thursday night history class. We got a lot to go over, a lot that went down, Ashkawak, that we got to talk about tonight. And let me tell you something. Oh yeah, you want to? You can come on the. All right, I'll send you this answer.
I'm sending it right now.
Oh, for the Philly joint, you want to go from your personal?
Oh shit. Let me do Philly.
All right, let's go. Disregard the one job. But yeah, Shalom, Israel. Yahweh Bashim Yahshua Thumb, man. Yahweh Shemar Thumb Bashim Yahshua. Priest Officer 5000 Yediah. TikTok, we holding it down tonight. Got a lot of topics tonight, man. World War III. Got a lot of conflict that's still going on over there with Israel and Gaza. Got the pagan holiday, Christmas coming up. You got T.I., you know what I mean, having to set the young brother King straight. Let me explain something to you. As a Black, Latino, and First Nation man, you have to understand something. Your kids are not your damn friends.
Right.
They are not your friends. Like the scripture says this. Like, young man wisdom, give me one, brother. Give me Proverbs, right? Give me Proverbs. Bible, 22 and verse 6. Proverbs 22 and verse 6. We also got the Feast of Hanukkah coming up. We're going to go over that too. Right? We're going to go over that as well. You know what I mean? With the righteous brother Mattathias and his righteous sons. Because you got a lot of Black, Latino, and First Nation men and women that sell out. Oh, we're going to talk about Josh Giddey. We're going to talk about Maliga Andrews. We're going to talk about Stephen A. Smith. You know, they've been real quiet, Ashton. They've been real quiet, and we're going to expose the hypocrisy, you know what I mean, within that world, man. That if you're a brother, they just throw you under the bus for anything. Look what they did to Kyrie. But you got this heathen Josh Giddey out there with an underage girl, and they not saying nothing, young man. That's why if you're Black, Latino, or First Nation, we have to separate from this society. We have to separate from America. Hold Leviticus 20 and 26. And young man wisdom, you got what I asked for in Proverbs? Proverbs chapter 22.
Chapter 2 what?
22 and verse 3, verse 6.
No.
Yeah, reading that, brother. Proverbs 22 and verse 6.
Train up a child in the way he should go.
Train up a child in the way he should go. If you are a Black, Latino, or First Nation man and woman, you got to train your children up in the way he should go. You got to raise your children up in this truth. The Bible is, you know what I mean? This Bible right here is only for Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Like I was looking at the interview with the city girls, right? They down bad too. City girls is down bad, young man wisdom. The one sister was talking about how she wouldn't want her daughter to be a city girl. You know why? Because living the lifestyle of a promiscuous woman is a terrible lifestyle to live.
Right.
It's terrible. And you wouldn't want your daughter to live that type of lifestyle. So why do you? You can't be the type of man or woman that'll do anything for money. A lot of you do anything for money. I see some of y'all on TikTok. Some of y'all on TikTok do that, what's that, mannequin challenge? Where everybody in the comment sections is asking them to do something. And you're just doing all this crazy shit. You got the one brother that's dressing up like Miles Morales. You got the one sister, you know what I mean, that's doing all these crazy requests for what? Likes and diamonds? Like, God damn, like the mental illness in our communities is ridiculous. Don't be the type of brother or sister that'll do anything for money. The scripture also says, what profit a man if he gain the whole world? You know what I mean? And lose his soul. Don't lose yourself. You know what I mean? Just trying to please everybody or trying to get, you know what I mean, all the riches. Because that's vain. That's vain. And you know who else knows that? Cardi B knows that too. That's why she didn't want her daughter listening to her music. She didn't want her daughter to listen to that hit that she had with Megan Thee Stallion. Why? We got to raise our children up right. And you wonder why the youth, you know what I mean, are out of control today. We have to raise these young brothers and young sisters up, man.
That's right.
Like it's time. That's why GEN.YAHANNA for the I.S.U.P.K, because we got black fathers in these households. Black fathers, black fathers in these households, man. The babies need us. The sisters need us too. The sisters been trying to hold it down, but they can't do it. And I'm not trying to diss single mothers, but listen, sis, them children need their father. They need the discipline and correction of that brother being in the household. And that's what we got to understand. You got to train that child up right. To see what was going down with T.I. and King, brother, it was embarrassing.
Right.
It was absolutely embarrassing for this reason. Because first of all, your child is not your friend. He's not. Am I making this up TikTok? Am I making this up Facebook and YouTube? Your child is not your friend. Like raise your hand if your parents were your friend. That's what I thought. My father wasn't my buddy. He wasn't my homie. He wasn't my nigga. My mother was not the one. I'm trying to tell you.
Right.
You have to train a child up right. So you can't be surprised, you know what I mean, when they want to, you know what I mean, call you by your first name or live a certain type of lifestyle, talk to you any type of way. You can't do that. You got to train that child up right. You know how you train that child up right? By not having them celebrate Christmas, by not having them celebrate Thanksgiving. I watched a lot of you. A lot of you were talking about free Palestine. Oh, it's wrong what's going on with the Palestinians. But then you celebrated Thanksgiving. You a damn hypocrite.
Right.
You a damn hypocrite. Just like how those Palestinians are being unalived by the so-called Jew over there in Israel. You know how many Native American Indians were unalived? You know how many Seminole Indians were unalived? And you going about and still celebrate it, and then you come up with the excuse of, well, you know, it's a day of family and camaraderie and coming together. We don't look at it that way. You're a slave, because only the slave and the slave master would celebrate Thanksgiving. Which are you? You're not the slave master, because the slave master is the oppressor. Slave master is the one that's over there oppressing our people. That's ruling the earth, you know what I mean? We got to come out of this place with it. We got to come out of this place. We got to train these children up right. Go ahead, Ash.
So if I could, right? Part of I think what the issue is, and what you're bringing out about training the child up in the way that you go is, it's up to the parents to train the child up in the way that you go.
It is.
But instead, what's happening is the influence of everything around you, like, let's just say Christmas. You got to get that child Christmas gifts every year. You're not a good parent. You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure their birthday good. You're not a good parent. You got to make sure you provide a lifestyle for them to where, you know what I'm saying, it's easy for them to slip into and do whatever they want to do instead of being challenged in the right way. Like, for that young brother to have grown up, and we seen the brother grow up on TV.
We did.
For that young brother to have grown up in that house with that family, and then tell T.I. he's standing on business, it's that part in particular to me stood out because it's wrong for two reasons. For one, you talking to T.I. And we know T.I. history. You know what I'm saying? Like, even like I remember the Beef series when he was naming his charges. He was like, "You can look at my rap sheet, this charge, that like that's where your dad come from." So you can't talk to the person that you come from like that, knowing that their background is what it is. But at the same time, you say you're standing on business, but that's your dad, and he would help you start some type of business. Like there's so much positivity you could be doing, but you see how that influence is. Now you want to be street. Now you want to be from the hood. Talking about
it's like you want to live a lifestyle that you were sheltered from.
Right.
And that's why these curses in this Bible, man, like that's why you got to raise our children up right. But I was just saying it's heavy. He didn't have to go through half of the shit his dad had to go through. He didn't have to go through all of it. He didn't. Why does he want to do that? Because he sees what's on the television. The problem is you letting the TV raise your kids, telling you right from wrong. And that's a rough situation. That's a rough situation. You got, you know what I mean, the YouTube, the TikTok, you know what I mean, the TV, raising the children. You have to take the time to raise these kids up right. Because what's happening now, and listen, they understand this over there in Palestine. I'll tell you what they understand. They understand that the narrative is being changed to where the actual victims are being deemed as the ones that are the aggressor. And the aggressor is the one that is painting himself as the victim. You see the problem? You see the issue? And that's something that a lot of people do. And what they don't understand. Like the propaganda is insane. And it ain't just with that. It's not even just that. I'll give you a better example, right? Take what's going on in the NBA right now with that devil Josh Giddey. Not to segue too far off, but I'm going to get into it. Josh Giddey is a basketball player on pressure that plays for the Oklahoma City Thunder. He got caught having an inappropriate relationship in an inappropriate relationship with a 15-year-old girl. He's 21, going on 22. No one is saying a word on ESPN or any of those big networks. But Kyrie Irving got crucified for retweeting a documentary. He got crucified. They suspended that brother. They made him go home. They didn't pay him. He got dropped by Nike.
Right.
But Josh Giddey can go out and have an inappropriate relationship with a minor? Like, damn. I know John Morant is at home right now, furious. Oh, yeah, I ain't forget about John Morant. Who owns a legal firearm in Tennessee where he's at, where it's not illegal. But he got suspended. He still got a long ways to go, and the Grizzlies is suffering because he ain't there. But Giddey can go and have an inappropriate relationship with a minor, and no one's gonna bat an eye. Go ahead, Ash.
If I could, sir. Like, just for that situation, I didn't know what was going on. I seen the press conference and everybody was like, "Why he allowed to just not say nothing?" Like, they made Kyrie answer the question.
Did they
like,
not?
They kept
did they like, not? They made Kyrie answer every question.
Yeah, like they ain't let him skip nothing. They made sure. What do you mean by this? What do you mean? Well, you don't care about that one. The documentary said like they asked him every question. Then he answered the question, and then they didn't like his answer, so they asked the question again. And it's like something is happening to a child, and y'all just let it. Go ahead and play the game.
You're letting it ride.
You just let him play. He didn't get suspended. He didn't get put on the bench or like he can't come to
He's
the
still
game
playing
while we do this investigation.
She had 15 last night in more ways than one. Listen, you see the hypocrisy? That's this place. That's why we got to come out of this place. And that's why we have to separate from this place. Like, that is insane, not when you think about it. And that's why we have to train our children up right. And you should read the rest of that scripture. Read it again from the top. And then we're going to go to Leviticus 20 and 26. Go ahead. Read it again from the top.
Train up a child in the way he should go.
Mm-hmm.
And when he is old, he will not depart from it.
You raise these kids up right in this truth, right? They will not depart from it. We got to teach our children early on that Thanksgiving is wrong, that Christmas is wrong, Valentine's Day, your birthday, all of these holidays of the oppressor is wrong. And trying to integrate and join with them is wrong. Because if you don't, you'll be integrated in this society and then you'll be caught in the crossfire of every evil and wicked vice.
Right.
We stand for our people. In the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, we stand for Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. I want my people off of drugs. I want my people to stop unaliving each other. I don't want my sisters being promiscuous women. I don't want my brothers to go out there and make promiscuous women. You know what I mean? And prefer it. No. We prefer righteousness. And that's what we push in this truth. We push the Most High's kingdom and our King, Yahweh Shai Mashiach. That's what we push and that's what we stand for. Let me get Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 26. Because I'm going to tell you another issue that we have. We think we can stand together all kumbaya with every nation, and we cannot. Because let me tell you the real issue with trying to stand up for either side with the Israeli or the Palestinian. First of all, neither side gives a damn about us. They don't. They prefer their own. The Palestinians prefer their own people. And they should. The so-called Jewish man and woman prefers their own people. Every people should prefer their own. It's not a cap. And I'm going to tell you that it's not a cap. I'm going to tell you why. Because in the Arab world, you got different sets of Muslims, different sets of beliefs. You got some that believe that you can do what Josh Giddey is doing because Muhammad did. And then you got some that believe that you can strike your woman to do whatever. And all the type of evil nonsense that y'all disagree with each other. Ishmael being a wild man. But because of what's going on, y'all were able to unite. And that's a good thing. Y'all uniting with each other. That's an amazing thing. And here's the thing. That would, would be even more amazing if our people did it. And the reason why you're speaking out is because you don't want our people to come together. You don't want that. You don't want that. I'm gonna tell you why. Because if you did, you wouldn't speak against what we're teaching. You wouldn't speak against it. You wouldn't. And here's the thing, you're right. I'm not an Arab. I'm not a Muslim. And I don't care to talk to you. I only care about mine. I only care about my people. And you should care about yours. You should care about yours. Because if you claim that you care, what do you do for Black people or Latinos? Besides come in our neighborhoods and oppress us. Make tens of thousands of dollars like the Asians do. Open up their laundromats. And when social issues happen, don't say anything or don't speak up. You know how I know the Palestinians don't give a damn? You know, just a couple of weeks ago, a Palestinian woman drove her vehicle in a terrorist attack against my school, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge in Indianapolis. Not one Palestinian said, I'm sorry, my bad. The oppressor that calls himself a Jew is the one that is blowing you to smithereens. And you attack us, and you don't apologize. We can't even get a my bad, Isupk.
Right.
And guess what? That's all right. That's all right. I'm going to tell you why it's all right. Because our people are coming back together, and they're waking up to see that you're not our friends. You're not our buddy. That's right, George Floyd. And not just George Floyd, Tamir Rice, Breonna Taylor, Philando Castile, Rashad Brooks, Dante White. I can go on and on and on. Sandra Bland, Trayvon Martin. I can go on and on and on. And even with your comment, they allow you to come over here and do that, to oppress our people. They give you a little bit of peace so y'all can come and oppress Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. But guess what? Our people are coming back together. Especially here in the I.S.U.P.K. I pray you understand. You can't understand my pain. You only understand yours. You want the entire earth to feel sympathy because of what's happening to you. When no one wants to feel sympathy for our people. Then you guys went to the entire United Nations. Everyone is speaking out against Israel, what they doing to you. Who speaks out for us? Who does? You didn't. The UN doesn't. Go ahead, Ash.
If I could, if you in the comments and you support Palestine, this is what you should do. You should learn from the people that have been on the street telling you about the people that's oppressing you and telling the world about the people that's oppressing you. But the problem is, because you in a religion that's not real, is based off the Bible, you can't look and see the truth. The people that are oppressing you are Edomites. The people who are oppressing us are Edomites. The oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of.
This is true.
Talking about the Edomites. Until you figure that out, and the world figure that out, the whole world gonna go through what they're going through. And the true people, the real Israelites, got to be put in their place so that the world can be at peace. It ain't gonna be no peace. That's what the war is supposed to start in the Bible. We've been saying that since 1969.
Exactly.
So when we seen the war pop off in Palestine, we just like, oh, there you go. That's it. This
I'm gonna tell you what's crazy. I wouldn't even take it that far. You know why the war really started? Because Israel found oil in Palestine. Now they got to get up and go. And I'll give them this, they fighting for it. But the problem is you're fighting for something that don't really belong to you. That entire land belongs to Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. And no, you didn't. You didn't stand up for us. Stop. Stop now, you can. You do not stand up for Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. You do not. Stop the lie. You ain't got to lie to me. You ain't got to lie. You ain't got to lie. You ain't got to. That's why our God told us this. Give me Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 26.
Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 26.
Go ahead.
And ye shall be holy unto me, for I, the Lord, am holy.
For I, the Lord, am holy. The Lord said, ye shall be holy unto me. The Most High God, Yahweh is his name, told the children of Israel, who are Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, that ye should be holy unto me, separate. Because what?
For I, the Lord, am holy.
Because I, the Lord, am holy. Meaning the Most High is holy. The Most High is separate. He does not love everybody. That's a lie. God does not love everybody. He does not. I pray you understand. That's in the Bible. Read.
And have severed you from other people.
And have severed you from other people. God severed us from other people. He separated us from everybody. Because everybody ain't supposed to live kumbaya and in peace. And why does everybody want to talk that peace talk now? It ain't meant to be. Y'all can't even get along with each other. I'll tell you why you can't get along with each other. I'll tell you why. Because the people that's supposed to rule this earth ain't ruling yet. Children of Israel are going to rule under Christ. I pray you understand. Then that's going to put a stop to a lot of nonsense. Because in 1945, after World War II, they placed the so-called Jew over there in, over there in that land. And you had a big problem with that. You didn't want to live all kumbaya. What's that Egyptian president's name? I always forget his name. He said, how can you be the Jews when the Jews left black and came back white? And most of them Arabs over there don't respect them because they know who the real children of Israel are. Some of the dummies on TikTok don't know. But most Arabs know who the children of Israel really are. They know that they're so-called blacks and Latinos and Native Indians. They know that. They know it. That's why you got a real big problem with the oppressor that calls himself a Jew. That's why they don't respect Goldberg. They don't respect Steinberg. They don't respect Heisenberg because they know they're perpetrating a fraud. They know that. They know it. They know the truth. The smart ones do. But here's the thing. In knowing this, that our God told us that ye should be holy unto me, for I, the Lord, am holy, and have severed you from other people. Severed you from other people. Meaning God separated us for a reason from y'all. We ain't supposed to be together. We're not. The scriptures even say, can two walk together and not be agreed? Nah. You got Islam. If you're a Muslim and you're Arab, that's amazing for you. But if you are black or Latino, you can't live that lifestyle. That's not for us. Our culture is right here in this Bible. Our God told us that ye should be holy unto me. For I, the Lord, am holy and have severed you from other people. Listen, the Quran does say that. The Quran says that the Jews are God's chosen people. That's in 2 Surah 122. It even tells you in the comic book that God's chosen people is the children of Israel. Black, Latino, and Native American Indian. So I don't even understand why if you're black or Latino, why you would want to be a Muslim anyway. When you're an Israelite, when you're a Jew, you're God's chosen people. And God severed us from other people that ye should be mine. Because we belong to the Most High. And knowing we belong to the Most High, you know what we need to do? Come out of this place. Come out of this place and separate. Because the hypocrisy is insane. It's literal insanity. That you can stand up and celebrate the mass genocide of Native Indians. Are you saying that that's false? Oh, are you saying that the Quran does not say that? Oh, I hope you're not, Ishmael. Oh, I hope you're not, because we read. Oh, this is 2 Surah 122. O children of Israel, remember my favor upon you and how I honored you above others. That's in 2 Surah 122. O children of Israel, remember my favors upon you and how I honored you above the others. That's in your Quran. The Quran says that, O children of Israel, remember my favors upon you and I honored you above the others. What does it mean where it says I honored you above the others? Ooh. Why does it say that? Why does it say that? I'll tell you why. Because you know where they got that from? I'll tell you where. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6. I don't have to read no further. It says, O children of Israel, remember my favors upon you and how I honored you above the others. You want to know how Muhammad knew that the children of Israel were honored above everybody else? I'll tell you how and why Muhammad knew that. Give me the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 6.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
Look, that word holy again. It says the children of Israel are holy unto the Lord thy God. Read.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
The Lord hath chosen thee, chosen the children of Israel to be a special people unto himself. He didn't choose everybody. He's talking to the children of Israel to be a special people unto himself. Let me give you a little history that they don't want you to know. When Muhammad was, when he was dinero, I'm going to call him dinero. He was a taxi driver. He was a cabbie. He was a cabbie. An illiterate cabbie, Muhammad was an illiterate camel jockey who rode around, the ferry, and people wanted the camels. Couldn't read or write, didn't know none of that. He learned from Jews. He learned from us. And he couldn't stand the condition of what his people were in. He loved his people. He did. And he knew that the Arabs were worshiping gods of different days. The Arabs had a god for every day of the year. Even when you look at Allah, right, it was at first Allah and Allah's daughters. Like, and then he had to incorporate a lot of other paganism and then try to make up lies. Like with that little rock that they like to bow down and kiss. Talking about, oh, a meteorite fell out the sky and Abraham and Isaac. Where is that in the Bible? It's not. Listen, Ash, we had a Muslim come up to us and tell us that the cheese and milk was unlawful. I said, God damn. Only in Philly. Only in Philly. But God said, for thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. You know what? I'm glad you said that. You know who Muhammad had a lot in common with? He had a lot in common with Josh Giddey. But Muhammad got him a little younger than Josh Giddey. Josh Giddey got her at 15. Muhammad got Aisha at the age of 6. The age of 6 is when Muhammad got Aisha. Oh yeah, you're a prophet. Your prophet's like Josh Giddey. He ain't a prophet. He's just like Josh Giddey. He ain't no different than the Pope. They like him young. Real young. He said times were different. Woo. Jesus Christ. He said times was different. What did I say earlier in the class, Wisdom? What did I say earlier in the class? That's what they do. Let me tell you something. They still arrange child marriages. He all right now. He good. I was talking to him. He still got a young man right there. Let me tell you something. Arabs do that to this day, where they arrange children to be married to grown-ass men. You sick. You sick. Go ahead, Ash.
If I could, I seen that video that I posted on our page a long time ago, where they made the girl, she had to be like between 8 and 10 to this 50-year-old man, and the women held her while he assaulted her. And I think about that all the time. Like, I'm just disturbed. Like I feel like the Arab world just need help. Like, it's terrible. It's terrible on them children over there. You understand what I'm saying? They're talking about times is different. They still doing it now.
Still doing it now. And Ash, why is my class today? Now, Wisdom, you was here. I got 3 witnesses. I got another one. He said times was different. Time ain't different because y'all still do it to this day. Y'all still marry kids off the grown 50-year-old men to this day. Yeah. You can get on my line with that shit. And you know what's crazy? They got more in common with the so-called Jew than they know. You remember the last time in my class when that Jewish guy came on here and was defending the rabbis that was spreading diseases to babies? Now I got 2 Arabs in here defending Muhammad marrying a 6-year-old girl. Like, why is my class the class to come and confess, you know what I mean, to your malicious proclivities involving minors? TikTok, you need to watch them. I gotta watch them. And we the hate group. You gotta watch them. times were different. He ain't even condemn it. So you give your daughter to a 50-year-old man. Yes, she was 6 years old, and we have the hadiths to prove it. Oh, we're studying priests in here. Go ahead, Ash.
Now, if I could.
She was 9 when he actually penetrated her. Don't make it no better.
It says
she was 6 when he met. Go ahead, Ash.
It says we don't, and those who did need guidance. So what you saying is Muhammad was wrong.
You're telling me your prophet was wrong. If you're telling me your prophet was wrong, just say that. Just say he was wrong. Just say he was wrong.
Was he wrong?
Was he wrong? Was he wrong? Oh, wait. How the hell are you going to say times were different and then you're going to try to say she 18? See, he's trying to spin the narrative because listen, we already got you in 4K. When I brought it out because it convicted you, because it was true that she was 6 and 9 when he penetrated her. She used to play with dolls until she met your prophet. Oh, yeah, I got him. Oh, yeah. Go ahead, Ash.
In the words of Ken Williams, do you know that we can see you?
We can see you.
Do you know that we can see you? And the reason why I'm saying that is, a while ago, before I even was in this school, I seen them trying to prevent and stop child marriages over there in them countries.
They tried.
I seen that first. That's where I got that. You know the video I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
That I uploaded where the girl is like, hey, that's where I got that video from. I seen that years ago when they was over there trying to stop child marriage. They had to send the advocates over there and the women to go over there and rescue them little girls and the slaves. They were slaves over there.
Said it again. Times were different when they married their daughters young, so you do it today. And if you say no, your prophet was wrong.
Was he wrong?
If you're saying that times were different back then when Muhammad did that, and if you're saying you won't do it now, Muhammad was wrong. Just admit that. Admit he was wrong. Admit it. Admit it. Was he wrong? Listen, Amalek, I can't believe I'm about to say this. Amalek, I don't even want to admit it. Amalek is cut you. He cut you. It was always wrong to sleep with a child.
Right.
It's always been wrong to do that. You sick. And anybody that follow that, you're sick. He married her at 9 years old. He met her at 6 years old. Doesn't make it better. Does that help? Does that help? Does that help? So you marry your 9-year-old girl to your Amalek buddy. Oh, yeah. Yo, you would. Go ahead, Ash.
If I could, the guy who was with him, remember, it's his homie, it's his partner that's rolling, it's his daughter. When he said he liked his daughter, he was like, basically, I forgot the exact word, but he basically was like, but Muhammad, I'm your brother. Like, what's going on? He like, I know, but I'm trying to marry your daughter. Like, he didn't even want to do it. When you read it, he didn't even really want to do it. Muhammad had to coerce him into letting him do it. Like, what? Like, I be rolling with you every day. Like, that's my daughter, right? Like, listen. Nah, I am your brother, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying? And then y'all try to act like he the last of our prophets? No.
We posted one on the Philly channel, right?
The video?
Yeah.
You want me to put it on the screen?
Put it on the screen.
I'll put it on the screen.
Put it on the screen. Put it on the screen.
You can go summertime.
I was trying to put it on the screen, guys, because they like.
You try to give him a pass.
I was trying to give you a pass. I tried to give you to clean it up. I gave you an opportunity to try to clean it up. To try to just admit your prophet was wrong. But now you asking for the proof. Let me show it to you. A lot of your sheiks know this. A lot of them know it. They know it, and it's disturbing. And the fact that your natural reaction, your instant response was times were different back then. Let me tell you something. If marrying 6 and 9-year-old girls was Israelite custom, I wouldn't be an Israelite. Okay? All right? Because abusing children has always been wrong. I.S.U.P.K is going to pull the video for Facebook and YouTube and TikTok to see. Because a lot of your scholars know this. They know it. And all you had to do was just admit that he was wrong. Like, God damn, Mosh, like, so you basically telling me you'll do it. You'll do it. Now you see why God said that he severed us from other people. That he chose us to be a special people. He had to. Why? He said, yeah, the Lord did that. Because the Most High understood. The Most High knew these other nations and chose us. These other nations is sick, man. They sick. He's sick. Listen, the Lord said, you know what I mean? And this is why, and we'll make, you know what I mean, we're so heavy after a while. Or why we're so stiff-necked, because we want to follow them. Well, the Lord said if he'd have chose anybody else, they would have obeyed the Most High. That's why we got to stop being stiff-necked and come back to what our God is saying. You try to defend it, but it ain't no defending. We pulling it up now. A lot of them understand it. And now, we got to show it.
Let me cast it.
Yeah, cast it to the TV. You know, we got the HDMI too. That's another thing too. Like, y'all love to come on. There's something about Thursday class for y'all to come on my class and profess your proclivities. Like, damn. Like, are you serious?
Here go the video.
I want the one with Aisha too. You know what I'm talking about?
What?
The one with Aisha.
Like, read it?
Yeah, you can pull it up. Then y'all post one on the Philly TikTok. I might be hitting the car.
Nah, this the one that I got.
Oh, this is the one you got showed to.
Yeah, this the one I.
This is what they still do.
The man she married was three times her age. He was a delivery driver who lived in a distant village. Nujud's father made a deal with his family.
انت ليش زوجت نجوم؟ والله زوجت انا من ظرف حكمت والحال لم يتعدى ولا حد وسع.
There's something very different about weddings in Yemen. At celebrations like this, the groom is front and center, but you don't see any women, not even the bride. And when the bride is a child, she's locked away, sometimes not sure what the celebration is all about.
That baby don't even know what the celebration is all about. Like, you see that shit? She has no idea that she's getting ready to be wed to a man in his 50s. And this is a child. Where do they get this from? I'll tell you where they get it from.
You could put the
also, hold on, I'm gonna get to you in a second. That ain't the point. The fact that they still do this to this day, and the narrative is there, you try to defend it. They still do this to this day. Here's the issue, Ishmael. At not one moment on my live, and everybody that's watching will notice, you did not condemn this at all. You didn't condemn and say it was wrong. Your first response, that it was different times. We're in 2023 and this is still going on. You're an evil, disgusting bastard, along with anyone that thinks that is cool. Go ahead, Ashtawa.
No, if I could, I was just gonna say when you put the camera back, if you could put it a little bit closer, I want them to see when she explained what happened there.
Oh, come on, let's go.
She said she crying because she wanted to go home. They like, you married, you can't go home.
Nujud's
father was following a very common practice in Yemen.
Parents
arrange marriages for their children when they're very young.
That's a baby.
بس ما فكرت بانه هذا الطفل اللي هي نجوم انه عمره
8 years old
لما راح يدخل فيها الرجل راح يسبب لها
a year younger than Aisha. Crazy,
عند البلوغ.
He's supposed to wait a year till she was 9. Mm-hmm. Why is he saying that specifically? Why he say a year specifically? She 8. He wasn't supposed to lay with her when she was still 8. He had to wait a year. Why does it say a year specifically? Because he's copying off of Muhammad, man.
Exactly. Now, going into their hadiths, I'm gonna send this to you, I.S.U.P.K, so you can. They saw it on YouTube too, right?
Oh yeah, they can see it.
All right, I'm about to send you something real quick. I'm not the one to talk to about this topic.
You mean let it play out till you send it to me?
Now this is in the hadiths. This is in your hadiths. Oh wait, you're right. The 12 tribes. You know what I mean? Blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians. Go ahead, Ash. What you gonna say?
I said you gonna be finish it before, while you send it to me.
Yeah, you can finish it. Now, this is in the hadith. The Prophet Muhammad married Aisha when she was 6 years old, and he consummated the marriage when she was 9. The revered Sahih al-Bukhari, 5134, book 67, hadith 70. I'm trying to tell you, it's in the hadiths. And a lot of y'all Arabs, y'all subscribe to the hadiths. Book 67, hadith 70. Look it up. You can look this up. That's what he did. She was 6 years old. And he married her at 16, but consummated the marriage when she was 9. Like I brought out. It's in the hadiths. Yep. It's in the hadiths. Book 67 and 70. You can look it up. You can look it up. Somebody, where is your proof? Go look in your hadiths. Because it's there. Go ahead, Ash. You want to play a little bit more?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Play a little bit more.
Let's get what she said about what happened there.
يعني ما بدها ولا احترم.
It says that he assaulted her. He assaulted. Pause that shit out. That guy didn't say that. She said that he assaulted her, that he raped her in front of his mother and sister. Is that what that said? He did that in front of his mother and his sister. Go ahead,
It's like we ain't gotta finish the video. I just tell you.
I'm done with that. I don't need to see. I can't watch no more of that.
Listen, the mother and the sister held her down.
Excuse me?
That's what she finna say.
So you mean to tell me
she's getting this in the Bible? Y'all not even supposed to be in the same room.
No.
But now the mother and the sister held her down because she's the baby, man. You understand what I'm saying? They tried to wait till she was 9 because Aisha had laid down Muhammad when she was 9. You see what I'm saying? Like it's the same correlation. This video, if I'm remembering correctly, is about them stopping child marriages over there. So they went and interviewed them. They saying that's not Islam, that's them. That's Muhammad. What is you talking about? Ain't Muhammad Islam?
Yes, he is.
That's not the Bible because the Bible and the Quran don't got nothing to do with each other.
It has nothing to do. You watch the walk of hand. The walk of hand is so heavy.
It is, however, the Quran.
That disgusted me. And his mother and sister held her down while she was abused. That's terrible. That's terrible. Like, that is absolutely terrible. Like, that's ridiculous. This is why our God severed us from other people. Go ahead, Ash.
Now, if I could, while he's sitting there and he denying it, you know what I'm saying that's not Islam, this, that, and the third. Y'all not the only, you not the only Muslim.
It's in their hadiths.
You not the only Muslim we talk to. So the other Muslims, the men and the women, said she was a grown woman. That's what they say. They say after a girl get her period, she grown. That's what they say. So they say that she was a grown woman, she wasn't a child. That's what the other Muslims said. The women said this to me. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And the men, they said she was grown. We just don't do it now because it's socially not acceptable. Meaning it's still okay. It's just socially not acceptable. So now y'all saying two different things.
Exactly. Well, you have other Arabs that stand on that wicked business. That wicked business. Like we read, it's in your hadiths. Look up book 67 and book 70. It's going to go into it. She was 6 when he married her and consummated the marriage when she was 9. Well, the Lord, this is why the Lord said, "Have severed you from other people, that ye should be mine." Read Deuteronomy 7 and 6 again from the top of it, Prashant.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 6. It says, for thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Above all people. Well, our God made us to be above all people. Black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. We are above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Black, Latino, First Nation man and woman. Nosotros somos familia, una raza. We are one people. And we got to separate, man. We got to separate from these heathens, man. Separate from them. Because the problem is, right? The problem is, we want to join on to bastards like that. We do. We want to join on to those heathens. We can't. She just said, like, listen, that's why you can't be in Israel. You mean to tell me that you allow that to happen to your daughter? You allow that to happen to your sister, your niece? Hell no. Your aunt? That can't happen. Right. Our God made us to be a special people above all people that are upon the face of the earth. And I'm going to address the heckler real quick, right? Let me tell you what the problem, and it's funny, Ash, I can never get to my topic. I don't even know how the hell we got on the topic of this. But here's the thing. To address the one heckler in the comment section talking about, 12 tribes were black. Latinos and Native American Indians and Seminole Indians are black. Hey, yo. So for you to say, oh, they're all Negro, let me tell you the problem with your movement in the ADOS. It does not negate the fact that when you think about it, and not even just thinking about it, you look at the history and the archaeology behind it, and even in the records, when Columbus and the Conquistador and Cortez and the boys came over there, they had Hebrew interpreters because they knew the Taino Indian, the Puerto Rican and Cuban. They knew, you know what I mean, the Mexican and Native American and Seminole Indians spoke Hebrew. They understood that. They're the 10 tribes that were taken away in the Assyrian captivity. That's why the paraphrase Jeremiah 12 and 9, like, we're like a speckled bird. And you got to get caught off of colorism because you're one of them simple Negroes that think, oh, there's the 12 tribes, they're all black. They must be black people. So let me ask you this, dummy. Are all skin folk kinfolk? You know, Arabs and these Indians, they look the same, but they're not the same people. Right. They're not the same. You probably think Africans and, you know what I mean, the Ugandans and Ghanaians and Wakanda. No, they're Hamites. You got to get off of colorism. You have to. And you have to go off of what the scriptures say and what's happened to certain people. Because what happened to us here in America happened to the Native American Indian. Right. It happened to the Seminole Indian. It happened to the Puerto Rican and Cuban. Like the transatlantic slave trade started with the North American Indian and Seminole Indian and Mexicans, where they got took over to Spain. And when the Conquistador and Cortez and the boys took the Puerto Ricans and Cubans, the Taino Indians, and dropped them off in Puerto Rico and Cuba, to where the French colonized Haiti and to where the Spanish colonized San Domingo, the Dominican Republic. So you got to stop pushing that ADOS narrative, and I get it. You know, you could explain it a little better than me. I just think there's a bunch of Negroes who need to stop getting high and and listening to, you know what I mean, to your blackity black Umar Johnsons of the world, the Prince of Pan-Africanism and all the other nonsense. Stop getting high, brother. Stop getting high. Go ahead, Rush.
They just don't like light-skinned people. That's really all it is.
That's really what it is.
That's if you really talk to them and get into it, you be like, well, what if somebody like you? Like, nah, you gotta be pure black. You gotta be. They just don't like light.
And what is pure black? Because here's the thing, right? You are who your father. Give me Numbers chapter 1 and verse 18. Give me Numbers chapter 1 and verse 18. Let me tell you something. You are who your father is according to the Bible. I'll give you a prime example. Patrick Mahomes. A lot of you wouldn't want to claim him. I'll be able to tell brothers he's a brother. You'd be like, no, he got damn white. They push him because of this. Patrick Mahomes is a nigga, man. He's a black man from the tribe of Judah. He might be Manasseh. I don't know. He might be. I don't know if his father either Judah or Manasseh. He a nigga. He's an Israelite because his father's a so-called black man. That's who your father is. But a lot of you don't want to claim him, but you'll claim a Bob Marley. When Bob Marley is not a black man, Bob Marley is an oppressor and heathen. His father is from, you know what I mean? His father was a Brit, an oppressor. You know what I mean? A slave owner. And his mother, Bob's mother, was the slave. Go ahead, Ash.
We be having to really teach the birds and the bees in the UPK all the time. Like when the sperm go in and the baby come out. That's how you know. That's how you know.
95, brother. It's 595. That's
how you know who the baby is. The sperm go in and then the baby come out. That's how you know who baby it is. Whoever put the sperm in there, that's who baby it is. It go by the father.
It's the fact that we have to teach that is insane. But you are who your father is. Here's the thing, right? I'm not saying, and it's the same thing would happen to us. Same thing would happen to us. The so-called Mexican, like if you look at who runs Mexico, the oppressor, the white man runs Mexico, the conquistador, the Spaniard. Now the ones that are getting locked up in cages, the ones that are on the bottom of society, you know what I mean? They are the tribe of I.S.U.K. That's them. That's them. Go ahead, read Numbers chapter 1 and verse 18.
And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month.
Keep going.
And they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers.
By the house of their what?
Father's family.
By the house of their father. By the house of their father. It's who your daddy is. It's who your father is. And let me tell you something, man. And which goes to show you, and I'm glad y'all in here. I'm glad y'all in here talking that Adam movement, talking about hey, you're all black. Because it goes to show you something. It goes to show you something. All right, let me Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 54. You know, that's a curse. Hating your brother. I being evil towards your brother. Because here's the thing. I can go into the history about how when the conquistador, Cortez and them boys came over here in Columbus, all the Hebrew artifacts, even if you look at the Native American and Seminole Indians garments, how they have the border of blue, how they have the shields of David, you know what I mean? Some nut in the TikTok comments gonna be like, God, Molech. I know, I'm waiting for that comment. I'm gonna break it down. Here's the thing. I know, it's coming. I know, it's the star Molech and dying. It's pagan up. I know. It's coming. Stop getting it.
Don't wear the sunglasses in here.
Oh,
every class.
Goodness, every class. That's why I don't even want to wear the sunglasses. They just want to see my face. I know. I've been trying to tell them I don't swing that. Grown ass men telling me to take my sunglasses off. Like, if you live an alternative lifestyle, that's okay. It's not. But don't try to drag me down with it. But read what you got.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 54.
I'll give you my opinion because I have an opinion. I have something to say about that too. Go ahead.
So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil towards his brother.
His eye shall be evil towards his brother. Now you're a black man and you got venom for the Hispanic, or you Hispanic and got venom. You know what I mean, for the black man. The scripture said that your eye would be evil towards your brother. But there was a time when we loved each other, man. There was a time when we lived in peace and prosperity. Let me tell you something. Blacks and Latinos, we came up together at the same time here in oppression. We at the bottom of society. The bottom. What makes a Mexican Israelite? The same reason which makes you one. Because if you look at the curses, and if you look at what we go through and what they go through, it's the same thing. Oppressed by the same oppressor, and no one stands up for the Mexican or the Negro. And what happens when we come together? Oh, they shit bricks. They don't want that to happen. They don't want that. Let me tell you something. If Judah and Issachar came together, my God, could you imagine? Could you imagine? They don't want that. I'll tell you how nobody gives a damn about the Mexican and what makes the Mexican Israelites. Because I watched over 500,000 Ukrainians walk through the Mexican border. 10 Mexicans can't walk through the border because they're going to get put in cages. They're going to get unalived. Listen, man, it's that image of that brother and his daughter, that Mexican brother and his baby girl, man, it still burns in my soul, in my mind when I sleep at night. The image of him drowned in the Rio Grande with his daughter, man. The oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. El hombre blanco es al diablo. I'm telling you, man, el hombre blanco es al diablo. And that's what makes this scripture so heavy. Because you want to have venom towards me. I ain't got no venom towards you. Nosotros somos familia una raza. We give a damn about la raza.
That's right.
We stand up for us in the I.S.U.P.K. under command of GEN.YAHANNA. These harmonics, you're my brother. We stand up for you, especially here in the I.S.U.P.K. I pray you understand. I don't give a damn about no East Africans or no Arabs or whatever, because we ain't those people. We give a damn about what goes on with you here in the I.S.U.P.K. We do. Because we watch them Ukrainians walk through the border. Like we watch what goes on, you know what I mean, with our people. They talking about all those poor babies and all of those poor women in Palestine. I watched a Mexican mother. I watched a strong sister crawl through barbed wire with her 5-year-old baby girl. Guess what? She did it. Give her a hand. We watched that shit. It was hard. And I love it. No one wants to stand up. Well, we do in the I.S.U.P.K. under command of GEN.YAHANNA. And the fact that you still want to have a little bit of venom and goes to show you that who can hate like family? Your eye is evil towards your brother. And you got brothers, you know what I mean? And listen, and brothers do that. The solution is here in the I.S.U.P.K.
That's right.
The solution is here. And you know why they tried to do that? It's the same reason why you got silly Negroes that talk trash about the Hispanics. And why silly, because we got Uncle Toms, we got Uncle Tomases, and we got Uncle Tomahawks in our community. We do. We got Uncle Toms, Uncle Tomases, and Uncle Tomahawks. They got to go. That mindset had to go, especially in 2023. Because we have the same oppressor. That divide and conquer tactic works. I'll tell you how bad it is. You have Mexicans here in America that have been Americanized that don't want Mexicans to cross the border.
Right.
You have uppity niggas, uppity Negroes in that church that look down on other Negroes. Oh, you do. You have it. You have it. It says your eye shall be evil towards your brother. Read.
Come. It says, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children which he shall lead.
And towards the wife of his bosom, and to the remnant of his children which he shall lead. Drop down to verse 68. Let me tell you something, and I'm going to break it down for you. Yes, the oppressor has been coming after everybody, but the Japanese received reparations. The Chinese received reparations. You know what I mean? The Arabs got reparations. The Arabs, they let the Arabs, over 6,000 of them, fly over into Philly and New York, in D.C. After the Taliban, after they left, you know what I mean, Afghanistan. Go ahead, young man.
When we were going to drop my brother off for his school stuff, we were in, like, around that D.C. We were at, like, restaurant, you know, where all the stores are?
Yeah.
We walked in, a bunch of Jewish people, a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Everybody in there was Jewish.
Yeah, no, that is true. You can look that up. That's what happened. That's what happened. Who stands up for the Mexican man and woman? They locked them up in cages. They locked the Honduras man up in cages. They locked the Panamanian brother up in cages. They locked the Argentinian and Brazilian man and woman up in cages, and nobody says a word. They sleep at night like babies, while our babies are the ones that sleep on concrete floors with aluminum foil to make themselves warm, where they lost over 1,500 of those babies. They got sold into child, you know what I mean, rings. Go ahead, Ash.
I got another precept to go we'll be going into if I can read it.
Go ahead.
This is Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 33.
Brother, I'm so glad you're in Jeremiah the 50th chapter, because after you read this, I want you to go up to verse 6. Go ahead.
Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together.
The children of Israel, young man. Now, when it talks about the children of Israel, it's talking about, you know what I mean, the northern kingdom, the 10 tribes that went into the Assyrian captivity. And Ephraim was the head. From Ephraim down to Isupk, the Puerto Ricans, Cubans, the Mexicans, the Colombians, the Argentinians, the Chileans. Guess what? Israel and the children of Judah. Judah represents the Negro in America, the West Indian black man and woman out there in the islands in the Caribbean, and the Haitian man and woman, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Read it again from the top.
Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together.
Were oppressed together. How do you know we're oppressed together? Because blacks and Latinos and Native American Indians are at the bottom of society together. We're oppressed together when nobody gives a damn about us. We're in Jeremiah what?
50 and 33.
50 and verse 33. The Catholic Church, along with the Christian Church, is terrible for our people.
Right.
The church has failed our people. I hope that answers your question. And my comments on Iran, you know what I mean? Let me tell you something, why Iran is important. Iran is actively going up against the state of Israel. Because Iran, biblically, they're the Persians. You know what I mean? The remnant of the Persian Empire and their people, that's Iran. And Iran does not like the so-called Jew. Iran is actually backing the Palestinians. Like Iran and the Palestinians, they getting together. Oh, yes, they getting together. That's why you got Saudi Arabia and the so-called Jew chumming up to each other right now. Because World War III is going to happen. We're not Christian. We're not Catholic. We're not Muslim. We are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under 13 Shield Commanding General Yohanna. We teach that blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians are the Jews of antiquity, the Israelites. Now, go up to verse 6. Why were the children of Israel and the children of Judah oppressed together? Go ahead, Oscar.
If I could, so it's a little bit more. It's on topic.
Okay.
It says, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go.
They refused to let that Hispanic man go. They refused to let that black man go. They refused to let that Native American Indian go. Let me tell you something. They are Native Indian brothers and sisters. And Seminole Indian brothers and sisters live on modern day concentration camps to this day. They call them reservations. We live in the ghetto and the barrio as blacks and Latinos. I pray you understand. I support niggas. That's who we support. We support niggas. That is who we support. I pray you understand. And here's the thing. What makes them Israelites is the precepts that we're reading now and breaking them down. If you stop doing a bunch of this, being in your own mind, thinking you know something, you can do that by yourself. Just turn the phone to your face, you know what I mean, and do whatever and talk to yourself. But if you want to be edified, if you want to learn something, pay attention because I'm breaking it down. And all of them other nations receive forms of reparations. They get assistance from the UN. Let me tell you what I do know about the Congolese in the Congo and the Sudan and many of them African countries. They're being funded by Pushaisi. Y'all looking at me like I'm crazy. They're being funded by the real Pushaisi, Vladimir Putin. Russia is backing them, man. Because you got the Chinese moving in, you got the British moving in, Russia is backing them. Why do you think a lot of them Africans is praising Pushaisi? And yes, he is the real Pushaisi. That devil, Vladimir Putin, he's something else. He's shiesty. I'm trying to tell you something, man. They all got a form of reparations except for blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. I pray you understand. You got anything else, Alex?
No, I just was going to say that scripture, it showed you to say they was going to be oppressed together when they go into captivity. But you know we went into separate captivity. So that means in another captivity, we was going to have to be back together again. And if you black, a lot of times you're going to grow up with Spanish people in your neighborhood. Like Camden is, they say Camden is Philly with Puerto Ricans and Dominicans, but it's parts of Philly where it's a bunch of Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, and we live right next to it. I grew up around Mexicans. Like when I was in Georgia, I was all around Mexicans. You know what I'm saying? You might have grew up around Hispanic, and then we act the same.
You grew up with Mexicans in Georgia, right?
Come.
The same Georgia where a few months ago they had Mexicans in actual slavery.
Come.
Break that down for everybody.
If I could, a couple years ago, they literally had a bunch of Mexicans in literal slavery. Like slavery, like plantation, work in the field, not getting paid, can't go home, can't go nowhere, slavery.
I remember this story because it was in 2021. The one that about 2 years ago, wasn't that long ago?
Yeah.
Wasn't that long ago? In 2021. Like, goddamn. Did you know that slavery officially ended in 2013? Yeah. You know, Louisiana was one of them few states that didn't want to let go. They ain't pushed the paperwork through. You can look that up though, man. Let me explain something to you. Black, Latino, and First Nation man and woman. Let me get a little bit more of this. My strong drink. Let me explain something to you, right? We're going to read up in Jeremiah. I'm glad he went to Jeremiah the 50th chapter. I was going to go there. Because here's the thing. Here's the thing. I didn't avoid no question. If your head was not where the sun does not shine, I answered everything that you asked me. I need you to control your hands for a second. I know you do. I know you can't control them, but I'm gonna need you to have a little discipline if you're gonna be up in my class, all right? I've answered everything. We're the only ones that did not get no reparations. And as for Belgium, as for the oppressor, as for T-Man, the Germans, my God, do we have to talk about? And let me tell you what's so crazy about that, and why that is a double on why this oppressor, why you're the devil that the Bible speaks of. You bring up Belgium didn't get no reparations. Didn't Germany do something to another set of white people that they still pay reparations for today? Didn't they? Didn't they? Like, goddamn. Like, that's a oxymoron, Ashtawa. Like, how do you, like, what reparation do you want? You were doing, and listen, and I stay out of that business. I stay out of family affairs. Listen, as a child, my father told me, stay out of grown folk business. I'm here to tell you on behalf of Commander Gen.YAHANNA to stay out of white folk business. Because guess what? They still get justice to this day. They still get justice. They find old, decrepit Nazis and they unalive them. Like goddamn. And they pay reparations. And here's the thing. I answered this. And I'm going to answer it one more time. You ask me another stupid question, you're going to get the Thanos thing. The Hamites, the Africans in the Congo, the Congolese, and all of them different countries in Africa, they're supported by Russia and other European countries, which means somebody is looking out for them, where nobody is looking out for Mexicans. Nobody's looking out for Native American Indians. Nobody's looking out for Seminole Indians or Puerto Ricans and Cubans. But let me ask you this. No. I got a question for him, Ashtawa. Crow, what's 9 plus 1? Answer me that. I answered your questions. Crow, what's 9 plus 1? Type it in the chat. Just type in what's 9 plus 1. And guess what? Your mother gave birth to a diabolical little bastard that is at home right now with the TikTok fingers and Twitter fingers because his feelings is hurt by a priest of God. And guess what? When you're done watching this live and when you're done looking at your girl's OnlyFans that she's doing with another man, and when after you take that $40 that she got from that other man, I want you to remember something. I want you to remember something very important. And I'm going to say it to you in Spanish. El hombre blanco es el diablo. You know what to do, Tony. I don't want him. Yeah.
Oh, God.
The what? I appreciate it. I appreciate it. La Yasha Allah. His mama probably got an OnlyFans like Blueface mom. That's why you on my live. Your mama kicked you out of it. She kicked you out of the. God damn. If that's the case, listen. Damn, that's a rough situation. That's a rough situation. Moving on. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68. Bubba, push up.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
The Lord said he will bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Egypt is a Greek word, Egyptos, which means slavery, which means bondage. The Lord told the children of Israel that he was going to bring us back into slavery with ships. That happened to the Native American Indian. It happened to the Seminole Indian, where they got brought in to Spain on cargo slave ships, where the Mexicans did. Keep going.
Come. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, Thou shalt see it no more again.
They haven't seen Israel. They having pride parades in Tel Aviv. Man. They out there. Let me tell you what's so crazy, man. Every time I watch the video of the Arabs hang gliding over the Superdome, you know, they made that dome so nobody can get in. It's comical if you ever get up and watch it. It's laughable. Like, it is really laughable. They really hang gliding. I said, God damn, this man. And they was out there partying. Could you imagine? You an Israeli general, and you out with your boyfriend. And you get snatched up by 3 Arabs. Like, God damn. But then again, the so-called Jew is such a sodomite. He probably singing trumpet. He probably singing "Stranger in Paradise." Salaki, cutting up. This strong, most high. But understand something. The Lord told us that we would not see it again. We haven't seen it. They over there having a rainbow coalition in our land right now, and it is against God to live that alternative lifestyle. But they promote it over there. Keep going.
Come. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies. Where we were sold unto our enemies, man. Sold unto our enemies. Sold to the oppressor. Was the Mexican not sold, you know what I mean, to the Spanish? Was the Native American and Seminole Indian not sold to the Spanish? Was the Dominican not sold to the Spanish? Were we not sold to the British? Like, goddamn. Was the Haitian not sold to the French? We were sold to our enemies, man. And you sitting up here trying to cap for them. They're our enemies. They're our enemies. And we're not supposed to trust them, man. Ecclesiasticus, the 12th chapter, and the 16th and 17th verse. Well, it's like Ecclesiasticus 12 and 10, if you drop down to 16 and 17, where the Lord told us, never trust thy enemies. Never trust thy enemies. And you're right. You're right, Nakar Bathunya. One of y'all brothers, Lord Christ and the Mighty Warriors, man. Don't know which one it is operating the channel, but they both mighty warriors, and it's true. We got the same, not only we got the same story, we got the same father and mother. It's a little joke I be telling our wife. You know what I mean? we got the same parents. And we can just all get along. Let me tell you something. I hate that narrative so much. When you say, can't we all just get along? We don't do nothing to you. We ain't never did nothing to you. Like, how dare you? Hold on for a second, man. Like, I cannot stand that narrative. Somebody, can't we all just get along? No. And I'm going to tell you why. Y'all talk about what happened in Palestine, right? Are you aware in 1985 that they dropped bombs in West Philadelphia on the block of Osage Avenue? We ain't do nothing to no oppressor. What did we do? Well, the scripture says Esau had a perpetual hatred against us. A continuous hatred. They hate us. So while you hate us, we're supposed to just get along and love you. You miss me with that narrative. Let me tell you something. I'm going to get to you in a second, Ashton. They don't got to watch out. Seven, you gotta watch Commander General Yohanna, America on Fire, man. Commander General Yohanna already broke all this down, man. Far better than I could, but I'm gonna give you a little scoop on NATO, right? NATO was in trouble because the scripture says that France is going to leave NATO. And when France leaves NATO, start to pack your bags. This is going down. That's all I'm gonna say. But go ahead, Ash.
I was just gonna say, when you look how we was reading Jeremiah 50, right? Mm-hmm. And it said we was oppressed together. And you get into like what really happened to us, what really happened to the Mexicans, what really happened to all of us. It's like this oppressor has been terrorizing all of us since he got over here. Yeah. When I say terrorizing, I mean alligator bait terrorizing. I mean a Mexican man's head in a jar terrorizing. Y'all think that the scalping started with them doing it to the oppressor? No, they did that to the Native Americans first, and the Native Americans started doing it back to them. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Like you talking about smallpox blankets. You talking about all the land. Like we got out of slavery, and the land was just open, so we had land. All the families where it's just you and your wife and your 7 kids or whatever, and then a group of oppressors just come down and decide that they taking your land and they unalive your father and try to unalive the rest of y'all while y'all run for y'all life, while they literally terrorize you, besides being terrorized by the cops. You understand what I'm saying? Besides the things they do to cripple us economically and then put drugs in our neighborhood. Like, our people have been destroyed by this oppressor, man. You understand what I'm saying? And we trying to bring the truth out so blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans can wake up, man. You see what the cartel is doing down there, and some people try to praise the cartel for what they're doing. They doing that to their brothers, man. The scriptures say your eye was going to be evil towards your brother. Them cartel people, their eyes evil towards their brothers. So you got the Mexicans in America that don't want the ones over there trying to escape to come over here, or Latino brothers that escape to come over here. Then you got the ones over there. Then you got the ones that's still over there unaliving each other over drug money, over Esau drug money. Really, they trying to bring the drugs up here. So
that's really what it is. That's really what it's all about. And what's so heavy about what you're saying, I.S.U.P.K, man, give I.S.U.P.K a hand. Everything I.S.U.P.K said is 100% correct. You gotta understand something. Like, coming out of this place is key. Like, we were sold unto our enemies, and knowing that, we ain't supposed to trust them. When it says no man, did you finish that verse?
When
it says no man shall buy you, meaning no man shall redeem you, no man shall save you. That's what that's talking about. We get redemption by our God sending Yahweh Shah Mashiach. We can rely on other nations. The Congolese and the Congo and the Sudan, they have the United Nations standing up for them. The oppressors have the UN. Everybody has somebody for them, but we don't have nobody but our God Yahweh. That's who we have. Like, I could give a damn about what happens with the Congolese, the Arab, or the Palestinian, or the so-called. That don't matter. What matters is blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians coming back to our identity. And to answer Sebi's question, right, I'll take it a step further. Not just Kavit, right, if that falls. That's not the only thing that's going to fall. America's going to fall. America's going to fall. And I'll tell you why America's going to fall. Because every other great kingdom, and it's prophesied about in Daniel, the 7th chapter, right, has fallen. Babylon fell. It was a time where, I'll take it a step further. Egypt was the first superpower on the earth. Right. On the slide. Let me go back even further. Babylon. Like if you really think about it, right? With Nimrod, and Nimrod was an African. Nimrod over there, you know what I mean, in Babylon. Then you had Egypt with Pharaoh. And then after Pharaoh with Egypt, you had Babylon again. Then you had the Persians, the Iranians, and the Persians and the Medes. Then you had the Greeks, and you had the Romans, and now you have America. Ooh-wee. What's going to happen with Kavit fall? It's going to be chaos. It's going to be a righteous chaos if you black, Latino, or Native American Indian. I pray you understand. We don't give a damn about the Congolese or any other Hamite culture or custom or country. We don't give a damn because black people in America and the West Indian Islands and Haiti, we are not Africans. We're not. We're the children of Israel. So your point is irrelevant. And they do get support by Russia and other European countries. I pray you understand they do. They have a voice, but we don't have one because we're supposed to call on our God. That's what we're supposed to do. And let me tell you something what's so heavy about that. Now let me get into my topic because I had time to actually do it. Put the first Maccabees one of them. He's a lost cause. He's a lost cause. Now, let me ask you something. Are you Congolese? Are you Congolese? Because you keep bringing them up. I'm asking you a question. I'm not going to answer nothing else until you answer me this. Are you Congolese? Yes or no? It's a yes or no question. You've been doing the TikTok fingers all night. You were fast and efficient with it. Don't get scared now. It's yes or no. Your father is Haitian? Oh, my nigga, my brother. Did you know in May of 2016, Haiti tried to join Africa's Union? And you know what happened? Do you know what happened?
Tell them what happened.
Do you know what happened, smart ass? Do you know what happened? In May of 2016, Haiti tried to join Africa's Union. And Africa said, you're not African enough. Because the Haitians are God's chosen people. And you are who your father is. We read that earlier in Numbers chapter 1 and verse 18. You are who your father is. If your father is Haitian, you are of the children of Levi. Let me ask you a question now. What did the Congolese or any African nation do when Haitians were getting whipped at the border? What did any African nation do when Haitians were being chased by the white man on horseback with whips? What did they do? Not a damn thing. But you know who went down to the border to feed the Haitian man and woman? The Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under command of General Yohanna. Look up the mission to Acuna. We went to Acuna, Mexico to feed our Haitian brothers and sisters. We did that. We did that. We went down to Acuna, Mexico. Look it up on any news site on YouTube, mission to Acuna. The I.S.U.P.K, we went down there to Acuna, Mexico to feed our Haitian brothers and sisters, man. And you know who helped us? The Mexicans, La Raza, I.S.U.K. Nosotros somos familia una raza. We are one people. How dare you come on my goddamn live, you know what I mean, and talk about, oh, these Africans, we got to help Africa. Fuck Africa. Fuck the Congolese, fuck the Congo, fuck all of them. Salakia, Isupk. I had to get that off my system. You need to stand up for your people, man. Haitians are God's chosen people, man. You are the child of Levi, man. You are the tribe of Levi. A royal priesthood, man. Coming on here defending that. You missed me with that nonsense. You're real quiet on that. Ain't no Congolese come down there to help. You know what I mean? Our brothers and sisters at the border. They didn't try to help them. They didn't. We did in the I.S.U.P.K. I pray you understand. Look at Haiti tried to join Africa's Union. And guess what? Africa said no. You want to know why? Read the last part of that scripture, Isupk, in Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68. It's on topic.
And, Salakia, and ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen.
By bondmen and bondwomen.
And no man shall buy you.
No man shall buy you. You're not going to be believed. I got an iPhone. My phone wasn't made by Africans. It was made by Moab. Dun, 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 dun. You are wrong again, my friend. Dummy. Now here's the thing. I know you love your mother's people, but they don't love you.
There you go.
They don't love you. Haiti is one of us. It's just not African enough. Look at that.
That's a nice verse.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. It's just not African enough. In May 25th of 2016, they didn't want your father's people. Ooh, we. Africa didn't want you. Africa didn't want you. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Haiti is one of us. It's just not African enough. The African Union denies Haiti membership. That's why when Haitians were trying to, listen, I'm not making nothing up. That's an honor.
He said you making it up.
He said I'm making that up. I didn't make this up. By Face-to-Face Africa, May 25th, 2016. I didn't make that up. I didn't make this up. Haiti got denied from Africa's Union because they not African enough.
So he sleep.
You slow.
We trying to wake you up.
Isupk, you was nice about it. I'm going to say it. You slow.
Now
Africans don't give a damn about you, brother, but we do.
Now let's see what we did.
Now go to what we did. Go to what we did, Isupk. Go to what we did.
This is what we did. We found out our brother. Listen, the brothers took it upon themselves to do what we finna show up here. Hold on, let me.
12 cars and a rental truck stopped on the other side of the border.
And extra fire, by the way. Go ahead.
Let's get to it.
Get to it. Get to it.
In Austin, so you came all the way from Austin to what? For what?
This is what we did.
Came out to assist and to help the Haitians because according to the Bible, the Haitians are the Levites in the Bible. The same way the Mexicans are the Isupk in the Bible.
That's a Mexican.
We are the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. We are really God's chosen people who Christ died for. We are one family, one blood family, saying through blood lineage.
Do you want to translate that for him, please, in Spanish?
Look at my brother. One y'all be
Nosotros somos la misma gente. Nosotros somos la misma nación. Son 12 tribus para la nación de Israel. Y hay varios versículos en la Biblia donde dice quién somos nosotros. ¿Saben que esta puede ser quizá la última noche que estén estudiantes aquí? Parecido a la de la conversación.
That's what we did. That's what we did.
Around midnight to see men dressed in these clothes, Black and Hispanic men in a caravan of 12 cars and a rental truck stopped on the other side of the border, continuing their trip to Ciudad Acuña.
We got together in San Antonio. We went to local Costco and Sam's and got the stuff that we need as far as the materials, as far as the water, the fruit that we gave out, the peppers, the rice, and all of the other things, the toiletries. We gathered that together, we bought that today. We went down to
This is what we did. This is what we did for our Haitian brothers and sisters. This is what we did. While the Congolese did nothing, while the African nations did nothing, we went down there to assist our brothers and sisters because they are of the tribe of Levi, God's chosen people, man. That's what we do. That's what we do. Go ahead, Ash.
And if I could, that don't even make no damn sense. You from Haiti, if your father is Haitian and you sitting here pestering us about the Congo, when Haiti was called to hell and it's still going through hell.
The French name, that's another thing too. The French name, like the French meaning for Haiti is hell. Go ahead, Ash.
Yeah, they going through hell. Even when y'all had, I believe, that hurricane and the UN the earthquake, yeah, and the UN sent people out there. Them people went down there, they took all the money and they went out there and SA'd the children. They assaulted the children. Them older white men was out there laying down with Haitian children.
You know what?
You understand what I'm saying? You talking about the UN ain't helped Congo, the UN unhelped you. You understand?
You know what else?
The UN made your situation worse.
You know what else? I finally get it. He's a real Haitian. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm willing to wager he hates his father. Did we not read that in Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 54? Did we not read that? Your eye will be evil towards your brother. God does not give a damn about Africans, man. He don't care about Africans. He cares about the children of Israel. I'm willing to wager you hate your father. You do. You hate your father. That's why you're supporting your mother. Let me tell you something. Your mother hates you. Because let me explain something to you, young man, that you've been told all your life by that promiscuous bone eater that gave birth to you. Tell me if you ever heard this before. You just like your daddy. Just like your daddy. Because your father and mother is not together no more. Most high in Christ for that. Your father shouldn't have been with that Hamite to begin with. Your mother took it out on you. Oh yeah. Your mother was angry with you because every time your mom looks at you, she sees your father. She sees him. And that's why your mother hates you. That's why she looks down on you and belittles you. And that's why you feel the need to defend her and her people against your brothers. And what you need to do, you need to link up with your father. Right. You need to get down with your father's side. Your father's side is what matters. I pray you understand. You got to let go of that resentment you got towards your father, because your father and you are part of the greatest people to ever walk this earth. While the people on your mother's side are like spit unto the ground. And that's in the Bible. That's in the Bible. You can retire here, Monster. A lot of people with me. Now, let's go to 1 Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 1.
You said 1 and 1?
1 and 1. Start there.
The book of 1 Maccabees, chapter Salaki. Time check 8:43.
I'm going to get to it. I'm going to do the first part now, and then remind me next week to go back into it.
Come. 1 Maccabees 1 and 1. And it happened that after that, Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius, the king of the Persians and the Medes.
Now, here's the thing, right? When it talks about Darius with the Persians and the Medes, right? Darius today would be Iranian. He would be a Persian. He would be Iranian. And he was defeated. He was slain by who? Alexander.
Alexander, son of Philip.
The Macedonian, meaning Alexander, who they call Alexander the Great. So Alexander the Greek, you know what I mean? Because he was a Greek, he was an oppressor, and Macedonian, because the Macedonians were white people, came and took over from the Persians and the Medes. Smitten him, read.
Come. That he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece.
And he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece. Now, it reads on, it talks about how he went to the ends of the earth and took spoils of many nations. Meaning Alexander started to circumnavigate the entire earth, where he went on an unaliving spree. You know what I mean? And conquering. That's what the oppressor does. That's why a lot of oppressors hold Alexander in high regards, why they call him Alexander the Great. And he's in the Bible. It's in the Bible. And he was an evil bastard. That's why he died of a venereal disease. But you had Uncle Toms and Uncle Tomahawks and Uncle Tomasas, like the one in the comment section, trying to praise Africa. And I'm going to show you them in a second. Drop down to verse 11.
In those days went there out of Israel wicked men.
In those days went out of Israel wicked men. You had wicked men that wanted to follow the customs of these heathens. There were wicked bastards of Israel. So, my bad, I keep saying that word. Wicked men, wicked brothers out of Israel. Wicked blacks and Latinos that wanted to join the oppressor. Read.
Who persuaded many, saying.
Who persuaded many. They had influence. They was in charge. They had influence, man. Read.
Let us go and make a covenant with the heathen.
They said, let us go and make a covenant, make an agreement with the heathen. Let us go and make a deal with the Congo, with the Congolese. Let us go make a deal with the Arabs. Let us go make a deal in this regard with the oppressor, the white man. Let us go make a deal with Alexander. Read.
For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow.
We've had much sorrow in this land. They thought it'd be better to go and join the oppressor and keep the commandments, man, to do what our God said. Read.
Come. So this device pleased them well.
This device pleased them well. And let me tell you something. To answer the other question that Sebi had about the Jesuits and all that, the thing with the Catholics and the Romans, because we're reading about some of them now, none of them were for Christ. Christ only came for blacks, Latinos, Native Americans. It's all throughout the Bible. You go to Matthew 15 and verse 24, Matthew, you know what I mean, the 5th chapter, the 10th chapter, you know what I mean, the 5th through 7th verse, where he said he only came for the children of Israel, where he told, you know what I mean, the disciples to go not into the way of the Gentiles, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel, to go to blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians. That's who Christ was for. Christ was not for the oppressor and these heathen nations, man. He wasn't for them. Keep reading, Nash.
Come. Then certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen.
He gave them license to do the ordinances after the heathen. What is the when he says they gave them license to do the ordinance after the heathens, that's why you celebrate Christmas now. Right. That's why you celebrate Thanksgiving. It's why you celebrate your birthday. It's why you celebrate Valentine's Day. It's because your oppressor daddy does. Because the white man does it, you want to do it too. What the scripture says in Proverbs 3 and 31, envy thou not the oppressor and choose none of his ways. Keep going, Ash.
Come. Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem.
Ooh, what is that place of exercise in Jerusalem? The Coliseum, we have those today. It's called Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. It's called the Wachovia Center. It's called the Leopold Center. It's where you play basketball and football and baseball at now. The Coliseum game's still going on. It's called the NFL and the NBA. It's called the MLB. Now playing sports ain't unlawful. I don't want to tell you it's unlawful. Scripture says there's no law, there's no sin. But goddamn, like we can't have our own leagues. Because if we had our own leagues, guess what? You wouldn't have to worry about pleasing your oppressor daddy the way Stephen A. Smith has to do, the way Malika Andrews has to do. Josh Giddey is in a relationship with a 15-year-old girl, and coons like Stephen A. Smith and Malika Andrews are not saying a damn thing, but want to crucify Kyrie Irving. Malika Andrews wanted to crucify Brandon Miller for something he did not do. Wicked men came out of Israel, man, and said, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen. Let's go join the heathens. Go ahead, Ash.
If I could, what you just said, two things just struck out to me what you just said. I forgot. LeBron was Kyrie's teammate, and I believe he said what Kyrie did was unacceptable, something like that. He came out and came against Kyrie for that video. But he ain't said nothing about Josh. Like, are you gonna play the Thunder? You gonna guard him?
I'm gonna. What you saying up is so heavy. But I gotta give the fan on snap to this guy myself. Now you got don't do it. I'm gonna do this. I want him to know it was me. In 10 years, the Congolese, fuck them, fuck you, and guess what? 99 million Latinos, 99 million Native American Indians, and over 99 million blacks, which includes Haitians. But you a coon. And this is what happens to coons. You get the snap. Don't be a coon on somebody else's life. Salaki. I ain't got time for that shit. I broke all this down, answered every question. And it's a shame, it's unfortunate, man, because the young brother hates his father. Just like how many of us, and I'll share something with y'all, man. There was a time where I hated my father. But Barakatah Yahweh Shah, for the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, I came in this truth, man, and with the counsel of Captain Ahmad Yashar, my big brother, I was able to salvage the relationship with my father and be there for him, man, and honor him. And the last words my father told me, man, before the Lord took him, he said, I'm glad you found your family. Never leave them brothers. My father said it to me before he died. He said, never leave the truth. Never leave the I.S.U.P.K. The truth brought us back together. Listen, I can't go nowhere else. You got to learn to forgive your father, man. Forgive your mother. I'm going to tell you what Captain Ahmad told me. We destroyed out here, man. Like your father not being there, your mother not being there, your father, mother being on drugs, your wife or your kids or whatever happened to our people, chalk it up to the oppressor being the devil that the Bible speaks of, man. Especially with your father and your mother. You got to forgive them, man. You do. Listen, it says some of the deadliest extermination campaigns against native populations in human history were penetrated by the European colonial empires against the indigenous of the Americas. Ooh-wee. Mass grapes, unalivings, 130 million. Like I lowball 99 million to over 130. Like, and then you want to talk to me about heathens? We got to worry about each other, Black, Latino, and First Nation man and woman. Understand that. Understand that. So, Sebi, let me ask you something. You a Cuban, brother? So you Cuban? Is your father Cuban? I'm asking you a question. Like, are you Cuban? What's your father? Your mom's Cuban. What's your dad? Your mom is Cuban. She's of the tribe of Manasseh. She's of the chosen people of God. Colombian? My nigga. God damn, you Colombian? You an Israelite indeed, brother. Which means you're from the tribe of Asher. You're from the tribe of Asher, you're Colombian. And your mother is of the tribe of Manasseh. You know what I mean? Manasseh and, Asher. You know what I mean? A part of the 12 tribes of Israel. Me, Ashtaroth, and Wisdom, we're of the tribe of Judah. Nosotros somos familia. We're family. And let me tell you something, man. I'm like, well, what happened, like, with a lot of our people. Like it was rough. And let me tell you something which a lot of people don't want to understand too. Like I said, you got a lot of Uncle Toms and Uncle Tomasas and Uncle Tomahawks, man, that are among our people that want to make deals and love the oppressor. We're reading about it. We're reading about it right now. Always go back to the time. Right now. Always go back to the, we're reading about that right now. Well, you got Uncle Toms and Uncle Tomasas and Uncle Tomahawks amongst our people that want to join the heathens. You got to get down with us, brother. You got to get up with us. You got to go to ISUPK.com and get with my big brother, man. Priest and officer 5,000 a month. He's over Colombia. Yeah, we got brothers and sisters over there in South America, man. Yeah, I mean, the Colombians are God's chosen people, and the Cubans are God's chosen people. You an Israelite indeed, my brother. Now, I understand, like, getting out. I know that was probably rough for you because you was probably young and didn't know what was going on. But the main reason why Castro was doing that, he was trying to cast out a lot of the Uncle Tomasas that was over there in Cuba, which is understandable. Like, you can't have traitors. I don't think they understand, like, and it's on topic, guys. Like, you can't be a traitor. You can't. Like, that is diabolical. We were just talking about this before the class started about something else. But it was on the, like, treachery is something you can't come back from. Like, you can't do that. Go ahead, Ash. Take it away.
If I could, I watched a couple of things on Castro. I talked to somebody, too. She an Edomite that was from there, but her family ran from there. And me and her got to talking. And I told her the other perspective. And she was like, that's probably what happened. Like, you know what I'm saying? But kind of what it was is they had a different dictator that was cool with America ruling over them. And he seen what Cuba was going to get turned into. And then he was like, nah, we're going to have Cuba for Cubans. He seen the Edomites starting to come over there and do what they do everywhere else. Do what they do in Thailand.
Exactly.
Do what they do to the Dominican Republic. Do what they do to Jamaica, to where now a place that you lived on and you was free to run around.
Doing what Alexander did.
Right, doing what Alexander did. You get recolonized again. Like y'all got colonized before, now y'all gonna get colonized again. All the businesses is gonna be owned by somebody in America. All the beaches is gonna be private. You can't go to your own beach. And then when he did it, he tried to be cool with America. He was just like, let me be in charge. I'm gonna deal with y'all how I want to deal with y'all. But America was like, nah, we getting you up out of there. And they kept trying to send the people that he sent over here that ran. They kept trying to send them back to infiltrate, but he always had people listening. So every time they would try to infiltrate, they would find them and unalive everybody. Like, all y'all got to go. Now, I ain't saying like how right it is or how wrong it is, but you cannot have traitors among what you're trying to do. You got to get rid of. And in the scriptures, we would have got rid of.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? We find out you over there trying to help the Edomites and save the Edomites. You got to go.
You got to go.
You trying to help the Philistines. You got to go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
saying? Man, you can't be a traitor. You can't be a traitor. Like, imagine, like, we had a brother in here earlier who I think might have returned, but I'm going to fix that. He better be on his best behavior. You sitting up here trying to fight for your mother's side, and your mother's side is African, Congolese, heathens. You trying to fight for them, but you don't want to stand for your father's side, and your father's side is God's chosen people who God loves. You defending heathens because you hate your father that much, you're a traitor. You can't be a traitor, man. Like, treachery, like, you can't come back from that. You can't. Like, that's disgusting to the nth degree. And that's what we're going into. Keep going.
Okay.
We're going to stop at 15. I'm going to clip it, and we're going to continue this, you know what I mean, in the Maccabees next Thursday when I teach, all right?
Verse 15. And they made themselves uncircumcised and forsook the holy covenant and joined themselves to the heathen and were sold to do mischief.
Listen, man, the scripture says it made themselves uncircumcised, meaning you left the commandments, the laws, that's the commandments. You left the laws of God, forsook the holy covenant. You forsook the agreement that our God made with us and joined yourself to the Africans, to the oppressor, to the Arabs. Now you want to celebrate Thanksgiving. Now you want to celebrate Christmas. Now you want to kiss the rear end of the white man. Now you want to defend the Congolese, defend the Congo, defend the Africans. Let me tell you something. Africans put Haitians in slavery. Africans rounded Haitians and West Indians and Negroes up. Africans rounded us up. The Arabs made the slave ships and they sold us to the white man. That's who you want to defend? You could be an Uncle Tom somewhere else, not here. Because if you're going to be here, you're going to be a soldier, goddammit. I pray you understand. I pray you understand. That's what we have to realize, man. Listen. And we're sold to do mischief. Now you in mischief. Now you don't know. That's why the scriptures tell us, man. I'm going to close out with one scripture. If I could, right? Ashtawa. Get me, bobbity, get me 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 9. 1 Peter 2 and 9. Sure. Let me get that. We're going to continue in the Maccabees next Thursday. I'm going to go over Mattathias, the righteous brother Mattathias and his sons, and how we had to come up against the oppressor and how they tried to get us to sell out. Because you got a lot of sellouts like Malika Andrews, who is an Israelite. Her mother is Amalek, but her father is Judah. You got Stephen A. Smith, who is a brother, who is a Judite, but is a coon, Uncle Tom. You can't be a coon, man. You can't be an Uncle Tom or Uncle Tomahawk, Uncle Tomas. You got to be a brother, man. You can't be a traitor. That's what we got to realize. And why you can't do that? Because this is why. Read 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 9. Bubba, sure.
The book of 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 9. But ye are a chosen generation.
We're a chosen generation. We're the ones that the Most High chose, man. Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Read.
A royal priesthood.
A royal priesthood. The Catholics, the so-called Jew, the Christians, they're not priests of the Lord, man. Your fake Israelites masquerading in perfect and purple, they're not priests. Yeah, they masquerade in purple. They do, but they're not priests. The royal priesthood has always been the I.S.U.P.K under command of GEN.YAHANNA. We're that royal priesthood. Read.
An holy nation, a peculiar people.
A holy nation, a peculiar people. Meaning we're a separate people. That's what it means to be holy. A peculiar people, meaning special, a special people unto God. We read about this in Deuteronomy 7:6 and Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 26. Keep going.
That ye should show forth the praises of him who have called you out of darkness into his marvelous light.
You need to show forth the praises of him who called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. You're being called out of the darkness, being called out of the world, being called out of America and that way of thinking. You're being called into the Israelite school of universal practical knowledge. That is the marvelous light that our God and our King is calling us into. I pray you understand. Our King did not give up his life so we can continue to be evil, that we continue to be unalivers and sell drugs. It's not what our King, Yahweh Shah Mashiach, who the world ignorantly knows as Jesus Christ, gave up his life for. No. I pray you understand. Man, they clipped me on TikTok at the last second. Ooh-wee. Don't matter. We'll be back.
Right.
And with that being said, we are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under command of GEN.YAHANNA. We only teach blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. I'm preaching officer 5,000 and diet. I want to say Tawada. Thank you to everyone that tuned in. Make sure you tune in to Black Watch every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. And with that being said, I'm going to pass the class off to Priest and Officer Ashtawa.